A very warm welcome to Anil Nair classes. I am Sheetal, your English trainer. So we have already done two topics in terms of grammar, namely nouns and the pronouns. Moving forward, we are starting with our third topic, that is subject-verb agreement. But if you have attended my previous two classes, you have seen that I have already laid the foundation of subject-verb agreement in terms of nouns and pronouns also, because we have discussed that only these nouns and the pronouns can function as the subject of the sentence. No other part of the speech can act as the subject. Only the nouns or the pronouns can act as the subject. So every sentence, if you're writing any sentence in English language, every sentence a subject verb agreement must be there. So every sentence the subject verb agreement must be there that means if you have a singular subject, the verb should be singular. If we can say subject verb agreement is necessary. Agreement is necessary in every sentence. So every sentence must have this. So what do you mean by this rule, which we have already discussed along with our nouns and pronouns? I'm just repeating or revising what we have done till now. That is, like, if you have a singular subject, verb will be singular. If you have a plural subject, verb will be plural, right? This is what we have done. So this is one basic broad category rule, and that is the reason the foundation has already been done, and we have already discussed that what are the nouns which are present only in the singular forms, which nouns are present only in the plural form, which are present both in singular plural. Same thing we have discussed with the pronouns also, singular forms of the pronouns, the plural forms of the pronouns and all, right? So this is what. Now, even though we know all the rules related to the nouns and the pronouns, that how they are singular or the plural, the way these nouns and the pronouns are joined with the help of conjunction, that is also very important for us to know, because like if the way they are joined, this will decide what that sentence, in that particular sentence, what that subject will be considered as, whether it will be considered as singular or it will be considered as plural. There are many rules related to subject verb agreement, but the basic concept, if you know, then the subject verb agreement will become very interesting topic. Believe me, it's really very interesting, right? It will improve on your reading. Now, if you study this chapter, what are the question types which you will be able to solve in your competitive exams? The first one is your error detection. This is major, right? And the second thing which you will get the help is in terms of your sentence improvement questions. Now, along with that, if you know subject verb agreement, it will help you in your reading comprehension also, or vice versa. They both are interrelated. If your reading is good, then your sentence subject verb agreement will also be good, right? Your identification will be good. Plus, it will also help you in your close tests, right? That which part of the speech you have to use, right? Whether you have to use the verb or not, what kind of the form of the verb will be needed, if at all a verb is needed, or which form of the subject, that is a noun or a pronoun, will be used, right? So all the fillers exercises are there. To a certain extent, it may help, little bit it will help in your close test and the fillers, but the major help will be there in your error detection and sentence improvement. Clear? And we already know the weightage of these grammar topics. Some 5 to 6 questions definitely you will get, right? Now, if you hold it strong, then obviously you will be able to do it. Now, before moving further, I want you to learn the examples of prepositions, right? See, what is preposition? You will say, ma'am, this topic is not related to subject-verb agreement. But I say it is really to a it's very important topic in terms of subject-verb agreement. In terms of subject-verb agreement, it is very important topic because it helps us to know that what exactly is the form we are needed for, right? Like, see, prepositions, the definition, it joins the nouns and the pronouns in the sentence to some other group of the words in the same sentence. So, we'll have the words like to, from, across, on, over, before, right, at, in, into. So such words are called as the prepositions, right? Now something else also, if I say that we have something called a prepositional phrase. So I'll tell you the definition. It's a group of words. It is a group of words which starts with preposition and ends with object of preposition. Now we have already done that only nouns and the pronouns can act as the preposition. Now even the object of preposition also will be only nouns and the pronouns only. Now why we have to identify this prepositional phrase? Because the most important point what you have to remember is that object of prepositional phrase, object of preposition can't be the subject or object of the verb. This you have to remember. Now what the structure will be, the normal structure of the sentence is what? You will have the subject. See, you will have the subject, you will have the verb, and then you should have the object. Now what they do is, you will have the subject, then you will have the prepositional phrase, then the verb, and then the object. So you should know that the object of prepositional phrase cannot be the subject of the sentence. So what you should do is, you should always cross out these object prepositional phrase to cross out, right? So this you should cross it out. You should cross out the prepositional phrase, and then the subject verb agreement should be in between this subject and the verb, which is why very important for you to learn the examples of prepositions. Clear? Yeah. So now that we have discussed about the subject verb agreement, prepositional phrases and all, let's learn the rule, right? Something which I've been teaching you from the noun chapter itself. However, you see in English, the verb must agree with the subject in number and person. Number means singular or plural form, right? So it must agree with the subject in terms of number, that means singular and the plural form. Now we know subject means only nouns and the pronouns can be our subject or the object. No other part of speech can act as the subject or the object. Only the nouns and the pronouns can act as the subject or the object. No other part of the speech can act as the subject or the object, right? So it should agree in terms of first person, second person, third persons also, which we have discussed in terms of our pronouns, right? So we must say they should be having the same number. Clear? The main root which forms the concept of every sentence is, in every sentence you will have the subject, then you will have the verb, and then you will have the object. This is the general main structure of any sentence. Another thing which I told you is, object of prepositional phrase can't be the subject. Can't be the subject of the verb, right? This is the main thing which we have to know. So second thing is, you should remove it, cross out, right? So while finding out the subject, always remove the prepositional phrase and look for the subject. So then the structure, when the prepositional phrase is there, then the subject verb agreement if you are looking, and then the structure could be what? You will have the subject, then you will have the prepositional phrase. Because it is a phrase, it will have the object, right? And then you will have the verb and then the object of the verb. So at that time, what we have to do is, when you are finding out the subject verb agreement for this particular verb, always cross out the prepositional phrase like this. Because here also the noun or the pronoun will be there, but that will not be the subject. The subject verb agreement, you have to look for this particular noun and the verb. I hope this is clear. We'll keep doing it in all the sentences which we will discuss from now onwards. Fine. Let's move ahead to the next slide. We'll keep working on it. Now, the subject will, it's not necessary that always, that's what the rule number 1 says. The subject don't always come before the verb in the questions. So what happens? Usually the people think that you will have the verb, and just before the verb, whatever the noun or a pronoun is there, that they think it is the subject. Not necessarily. If you have a preposition and the object of preposition is this noun or a pronoun, and then here you have another noun or a pronoun, and then you have the object, right? So you should know that the object of prepositional phrase cannot be the subject of the sentence. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So you will cross out this prepositional phrase, first noun or a pronoun, and then you will see this is the verb. So this should agree with this particular subject. Clear? Let's see. Always remove the prepositional phrases, and for that matter, if you need to learn the examples of prepositions, learn the examples of prepositions, right? See the example. Where are the pieces of this puzzle? Right? It's an interrogative sentence. So normal structure is first the subject will come, then the verb will come. In the questions, that is interrogative sentences, the subject first, the verb will come, and then the subject will come after the verb, right? Subject comes after the verb, specifically in the interrogative sentences, right? But not in the any other form. So there are inverted sentences also where the subject will come after the verb. See, where are the pieces of this puzzle? Of this puzzle, as the strategy will scratch it out. Where is a adverb for us? Plus it is asking the question. So what are there? What are there? I'll ask the question who or what, right? So what are there? There are pieces. So pieces is the subject, right? So this is my subject over here, which is the plural subject. So if this is a plural subject, my verb will be plural. That is the verb. Subject-verb agreement is there. For all those students who have not attended my classes in terms of nouns and the pronouns, I'll tell you the formula to find out the subject. So first find the verb. Before the verb, ask the question who or what. You will get a single word answer. Which is the subject. Now this subject will always be our noun or a pronoun. Clear? Fine. So let's see the another example. The study of languages and sciences is very important for your study. The very first step will find the verb is. Is my singular verb. Right? So it's a singular verb. We'll ask the question. What is very important for your study? Now, there are students who may get confused with languages and sciences because this is placed very close to the verb. But I told you what, when we are finding out the subject, we have to see for preposition. Of is a preposition. To find the object of preposition, ask the question of what? Of languages and sciences. These are the nouns, but they are not the subjects because they are the objects of prepositional phrase. We'll scratch it out. So now ask the question, what is very important for your study? The study is very important. Study is a subject, which is the singular subject. So singular subject, singular verb, the subject verb agreement is there. Clear? Let's move ahead to the next slide. Now when two nouns are there and they are connected by end, the verb used will be plural. Say for example, if you have two nouns, right? So we have noun 1 and noun 2. These are two nouns which are joined with and. So which means they are called as we call them as compound subjects. Compound subject. Compound subjects are the two nouns which are joined with and. So actually they are plural. So when you consider them as the plural, when two nouns are joined with and, we'll use the plural form of the verb with them. Now you have to remember that these noun 1 and noun 2 are joined only with and, nothing else. Anything else? What is the rule? Next slide we will discuss. But right now when two nouns are joined with and, noun 1 and noun 2, we'll consider it as the plural form of the verb. So see, the boy and the girl are waiting outside the school. We know our steps we will follow. We'll find the verb. Right? Now, can you see any prepositional phrase? No, we can't see any prepositional phrase. So, not necessary that in every sentence you will have. If it is there, you cross it out. Right? So, you ask the question, what are waiting outside the school? You will get the question. Or who are waiting outside the school? the boy and the girl. So this is the subject 1, subject 2. That means two nouns are there and they are joined with the word and. So they are compound subjects. So when they are compound subjects, what we will do? We will use the plural form of the verb. So are is a plural form, right? And two subjects are there. So that is the subject verb agreement is perfectly fine over here. Now, what when there is an exception to that. Now you have two subjects with two nouns which are joined with the end, but they are not referring to two different things. They are referring to one particular person or a thing. In that case, even though there are two nouns, they are joined with end, but they are referring to singular person or a singular thing. In that case, we will use the singular form of the verb. Say for example, I say my friend and roommate is Radha. Right? Now, who is my friend? Radha. Who is my roommate? Radha. So, you have two nouns, noun 1 and noun 2. They are joined with and, but then they are referring to a singular person, right? So, they are referring to single person. Who's that single person? Radha. Radha is only my friend. Radha is my only roommate. We are not referring to two different people, right? We are referring to only one single person. So, the verb is correct. Clear? Now, see. They are, see the rule, but when the two nouns are connected by and together represent the same person or a same thing or a same idea, the singular verb will be used. See the example, the principal and the science teacher has not come to the school today. So now who has not come? The principal and the science teacher. So what we understand over here, we have one person. He is a principal as well as he teaches science also in the school. So we are referring to one particular person. The principal is also the science teacher, right? So we are referring to only one person. That is why the singular form of the verb has not is the adverb, right? So has come is the singular form of the verb. So who has not come to the school? Principal and the science teacher. But now why has is there? Because they are referring to a singular person. This principal only is the science teacher. Clear? Next. Now, if two different nouns, singular nouns are there and they are expressing one single idea, the verb should be in the singular form, right? So here the same thing, you see the two singular nouns, uncountable nouns are used in pairs, then the verb should be singular. So if they say or the two singular nouns or the uncountable nouns, you use them in the pairs, again the verb will be singular because they'll be referring to a singular person or a singular idea. So we talk about the law and the order situation. So what kind of the situation it is? The law and the order, right? In the state are under control. So are is the verb. So what are under control? In the state is a prepositional phrase. We'll scratch it out. So what are in the under control? The law and order situation. So there is only one situation. The law and order is adjectives over here, right? So situation is the subject. There are two nouns joins with and, but they are referring to one particular situation. So that is why are is wrong and the correct expression will be is. It says the law and order situation in the state is under control. Now the profit and loss is a part of business. So now is a verb. So what is the part of business? The profit and loss. The profit and loss is referring to one single concept, right? And we always talk about these two words as a pair. So they are talking only about one concept. So that is the reason singular verb is there and the subject verb agreement is there. Clear? Next example. Hard work and luck is important for success. Now what is important for success? Hard work and luck. Now there are noun 1, noun 2, but they are referring to one concept. They always come in pair, right? Always in pair. So single pair is there. We'll always use the singular form of the verb. Clear? I hope till here everything is clear for all of you. Yes, please. So we'll just quickly revise the rules about the subject verb agreement. What we have done? We have done that if you have a singular subject, the verb should be singular. If you have plural subject, the verb will be plural. However, we have certain rules. The first one is the object of prepositional phrase cannot be the subject of the sentence, right? So when we are finding out the subject verb agreement, we'll remove those prepositional phrases. We'll keep it in mind that the noun which is just before the verb, it's not necessarily always the subject. Clear? So general structure of the sentence is first the subject, then the verb, and then the object. However, sometimes it could be other way around, the first the verb and then the subject. Ideally, in the form, when the question is in the form of a like a sentence is in the form of a question or an interrogative sentence, where it may start with some interrogative pronouns and then the verb and then the subject will be after the verb. When two subjects are joined with and, right, and then and like noun 1, noun 2 joined with and, then we will use the plural form of the verb. However, the exception is if these two nouns which are joined with and are referring to a singular person or a singular thing or a singular idea, we will use the singular form of the verb only. Clear? I hope till here it is clear. Now, if you have two nouns and they're referring to a singular person or a singular thing, then we will put the singular form of the verb only. Clear? So these rules are very simple, very easy. It's just that you understand. We'll keep revising it, right? So let's move ahead to the next slide now. Yeah, so we'll move ahead to the third rule. See, we have discussed that when the verb subject is joined by and, then it is considered as the two subjects or the two nouns are joined with and, then we call them as the plural subjects. But if there were two nouns are not joined with and, suppose you have noun 1 and noun 2, instead of the and, if they are joined with some other words, like say for that example matter, we say noun 1 and noun 2 are joined with the words like noun 1 less than a, or as well as a, or accompanied by b. Now in this case, noun 1 and noun 2 are not joined with and but with something else like less than a, or as well as b, accompanied by b, in addition to b, but, besides, except, rather than, accompanied by, in addition to, and like, together with, then these words with the noun 2 is not the part of the subject, because the word noun 2 is not joined with the noun 1 with the conjunction and. In that case, the subject will only be noun 1. This one only will be the subject. We have to look at the number of the first noun, that is subject, which is a singular, we'll put the singular form of the verb. If it is plural, we'll put the plural form of the verb. Now see the example over here. My sister, unlike my brother, wishes to have a career in engineering. Now, unlike my brother, now here brothers and sister, they both are the nouns, but this brothers is not joined with and, it is joined with something like unlike my brothers, right? So this is not the part of the subject. So who wishes to have a career in engineering? Only my sister. So the subject over here is sister, which is singular. So which is why we'll need the singular form of the verb wishes. In present tense, singular verb ends with S. See the next example. The actress along with her manager and some friends are invited to the function. So who are invited? So we can say actresses is there, then along with manager and the friends. So now here the manager and the friends are not joined with and, but there are certain phrases like along with. So that means these are not the parts of the subject. So who are invited to the function? The actresses. Actresses is the singular subject or the plural subject? It's a singular. Actress. Actress is a singular. So this is wrong. It is singular. Why they have put R over here? Because they are considering, they assume that manager and friends are also the part, but they are not the part. Actress is singular. So what part of the speech it is? It's a noun. It is a singular noun. So what kind of the subject verb you need? You need the singular verb is. So the actress is the subject, which is the singular subject. Because actress is a singular subject, the verb is a singular verb, right? So hence the subject verb agreement is there. Now when two or more subjects are connected by either or, neither or nor, right? The verb is according to the subject which is closest to it. So if they are joined with either or, neither or nor, so then the two subjects are there. So the verb will take the number of the subject which is nearest to the verb. See the subject, either James or John are to be promoted. Now who are to be promoted? Either James or John. So they are joined with either and or. They both are singular. So the nearest subject is John. Now John is singular. So we need a singular form of the verb is. Are is incorrect. Neither the girls nor he are to take up this track. Now who are to take up this task? Neither the girls nor he. The nearest one is he. He is singular. So we need to have is over here. But this are is wrong. So he is. Because the nearest subject is. So the point of this slide, when the subjects are joined with either or, neither or nor, the verb will take the number of the nearest subject. If the nearest subject is singular, we'll put the singular form of the verb. If the nearest subject is plural, we'll put the plural form of the verb. See, one more very good example I'll say. See, neither table nor chairs are arranged. Now why we have put table or not chairs are arranged? For this, because you see they are joined with neither and this is neither and nor. Table is singular, chairs is plural. Now verb is also plural because the nearest verb is nearest to the verb, the subject is chairs. Chairs is in the plural form, which is why we have used the plural form of the verb. Now I'll give you the same example in a different way. Let's have a look at it. See, if I say neither chair nor tables, neither chairs nor table is arranged, right? So now what are the subjects joined with? Subjects are joined with the the conjunction either or, neither or nor. So here you have neither and nor. The first one, chairs, is the plural noun, right? Now this is singular. The verb is also in the singular form because the table and verb, the nearest to the verb is table. So the nearest to the verb is table, table is singular, so that's why. So when the subjects are joined with either or, neither or not, they are pairs, right? Either and or, both will come in same sentence. Neither and nor, both will come in the same sentence. Clear? Next slide. See one more example. Either the chief minister or the cabinet ministers is responsible for this problem. So we'll find out is the verb. It's a singular verb, right? So who is responsible for this problem? Either the chief minister or the cabinet minister. So either and or, when you see the nearest one, we'll see cabinet ministers is the plural form. So when this noun is in the plural form, is right? No, this verb is in the singular form. So subject verb agreement is not there. This is wrong. It should be changed to are. So now when I say the plural nouns, either the chief minister or the cabinet ministers are responsible for this problem, right? The next example, either you or I are responsible for this mistake. So are is the verb. So who are responsible? We have the subjects which are joined with either and or. The subject nearest to the verb is I. I is singular. And with I, we always use the singular form of the verb am, right? So the correct will be either you or I am responsible for this mistake, right? So the simple word when subjects are joined with either or, neither or nor, verb takes the number of the subject which is nearest to it. Clear? So let's move ahead to the next slide. The uses of either, neither, none, etc. Now we have discussed that in the previous slide. We discussed that if either, neither, either or, neither or not, that we were talking about pair. Now imagine if only either, only neither, only none is the subject. Then what they will be? they will always be singular, right? Either if it is a subject, it will be singular. If neither is subject, it will be singular. None is the subject, it will be singular. See, either of something. So if either, neither will be there, immediately after them you'll have a phrase which will start with of, right? So when you have this, then what will happen? The object of this of will be what? Object will always be plural. So the object of the prepositional phrase which is starting with either, neither, one, none, etc. will always be plural, but the subject will always be either, neither, none. So either, neither, none will be singular. So when they will be singular, we will use the singular form of the verb or not? We will use the singular form of the verb. And either is used for what? Either is used for two. Either is also when we are talking about either of the two. Neither of the two. None of the what? None will be of plural. One also will be from many. So you see, none of something is used in case of two things only or two people and not one of the two. Right? So neither of his 5 sons settled in India. So now, neither of what? 5 sons. So 5 is more than 2. So neither of his 4 sons will be correct or not? Neither is used for only 2. None is used for more than 2. So when you are talking about more than 2, why will you use neither? The correct form will be none of his 4 sons look after him, right? Now next you see either of dash means the choice is again between the two persons, right? Or the two things. So and one out of the two you are choosing. So either of the 3 children. So if either of the 3 children is there, which is again correct or incorrect? It is incorrect because either is again used only for 2. So what again you can see the correct form will be none of the 3 children has broken the window. But then none is always singular, so it has to be has broken is correct. One of dash is used to select from many, right? Clear? So then after that one will still be singular. Got it? One of the 6 boys admitted before the principal that they had all cheated in the exam. So it is in the past tense. So when in the past tense, all the verbs remain same. But remember, after one, the object of prepositional phrase is the plural. Right? Next slide. Both and. Now, the conjunction goes like this. If you have both, the next conjunction should be and. When you have both, you cannot use not. With both, not is correct or incorrect. It is incorrect. With both, the correct thing is only and. Not is incorrect. We cannot use both and not together. The correct expression is both and. Right? Do not use both and not in the same sentence. Clear? If you wish to state out of the two things, not even one of them you can use. Or neither of them you can use. But you cannot say both. Both of the girls did not reach the examination center on time. Now here both is there. With the sentence where you are using both, you cannot use not together. So this is why it is wrong. So neither of the girls reached the examination center on time. So instead of both and not, what you have done? Neither of the girls. Neither means none of, not even one. Right? So you can say none of the girls or neither of the girls, then it will be fine. But you cannot put both and not together. Clear? Next slide. When not only and but also is used to combine two subjects, the verb agrees with the subject closest to it. So now this is again the same rule what we have done either or. We have discussed with neither or not. The same thing applies with not only but also. When the two subjects are joined with not only but also or either or neither or not, the verb agrees with the subject which is closest to it. Clear? If the closest subject is singular, we'll put the singular form of the verb. If the closest subject is plural, we'll put the plural form of the verb. We'll see not only silver but also gold are mined in this country. So are mined is the verb. So who are mined? You will say not only silver but also gold. So if you're saying are, that means you're thinking silver and gold, but they are not joined with and. They are joined with not only and but also. The nearest subject is gold. Gold is the singular form, right? So this verb should also be singular. So it should be not only silver but also gold is mined in this country. Clear? Next, not only the boys but also the coach wants a day off. So here wants is the verb. Who wants the day off? Verb is in the singular form. Singular verb ends with S in the present tense. Clear? So who wants a day off? Not only the boys but also the coach. So they are joined with not only and but also. The nearest subject is coach, which is in the singular form. So if nearest subject is in the singular form, wants is the singular form of the verb, which is correct. Clear? So I again repeat the rule over here. This is very similar to the rule which we have discussed with either or, neither or nor. It says not only the coach but also the boys want a day off. So want is the plural form of the verb. The nearest subject is boys. Boys is also the plural form. So subject verb agreement is there. So if the sentence is made neither or nor, either or not only but also is there. The two subjects are joined with these three pairs of conjunction. The verb will agree with the nearest subject. If nearest subject is singular, we'll put the singular form of the verb. If the nearest subject is plural, we'll put the plural form of the verb. Next slide. Yeah, so we have done till 5 rules. Now let's move ahead to the 6th rule. We have discussed about something similar to this 6th rule, which was there in this previous one, like when we have the words or the nouns which are joined with either or neither or nor. In that case, the verb takes the number of the verb takes the number of nearest subject. The same rule is applicable when the subjects are joined with not only but also, and they used to combine the two subjects. The verb agrees with the subject closest to it. Next example, let's see the example. Not only silver but also gold are mined in this country. So are mined is our verb. We'll ask the question, what are mined in this country? Gold and silver, but they are joined with what? Not only but also. So the verb should take the number of the nearest subject, which is gold. So it is nearest subject, which is singular. So the verb should be also singular. This verb is a plural verb. So the subject verb agreement is not there. So this plural verb are mined should be changed to is mined. Right? See the example. Not only silver but also gold is mined in this country. Clear? Next example. Not only the boys but also the coach wants a day off. Wants is the verb. And this is our singular verb. Clear? Now, who wants a day off? Not only the boys but also the coach. So you see boys and the coach, they are joined with the conjunctions not only but also. The nearest subject is coach, which is singular. So we have the singular coach, right? This is nearest to the verb. So the nearest is singular, subject is singular, verb is also singular. So this is correct. See the next example. Not only the coach but also the boys want a day off. So want is our verb. Verb is in the plural form. So we see the subjects are joined with again not only but also. This coach is singular and boys is the plural form, which is also nearest. So this time the nearest subject is the plural subject, so the plural verb. The subject verb agreement is there. Clear? Next slide. So now when you have two nouns which are joined with and they have their own articles, when we consider them as the plural and the plural verb is used. Now you have two nouns, both of them individually they have the individually. Both, like you have the rules, you can say the noun one and the noun two. In that case, we consider them as plural and then we'll use the plural form of the verb over here. See the example. The director and the producer is shooting in Himachal. Now, is shooting is the verb phrase, which is the singular verb. Now, who is shooting? The director and the producer. So this is noun 1, this is noun 2, right? These are the two nouns which are joined with and each one of them, they have their own article the. So that means there are two people, right? The director is separate, the producer is separate. They are two different people, right? And they both are shooting in the Himachal. So that's why is wrong. The correct verb should be are. So this is wrong. We need a plural form of the verb. So look at the next example. The director and the producer are shooting in the in Himachal. So are shooting is the verb, which is the plural form of the verb. Now the director and the producer, noun 1, noun 2, both of them, they have the article the, separate. So that means we are referring to two different people. So when there are two different people, they are plural. Hence, the plural form of the verb is used. This is correct. Clear? But when two nouns are joined by and they do not have their own articles, then we consider them as singular and the singular verb is used. This article is used only in front of first noun, right? In that case, we will be referring to a singular person or a singular thing. So, but when two nouns are joined by and do not have their own articles, then we consider them as the singular and the singular verb is used, right? So in this case, another thing, this article will be used only before the first noun, right? Let's see the example. The principal and the director of the school is on leave for 3 days. So is the verb, which is the singular verb, right? So who's on the leave for 3 days? Of the school is our prepositional phrase. Let's mark it as the prepositional phrase. So from this phrase, we will definitely not get the subject. So who is on the leave? The principal and director. So this is noun 1, this is noun 2, and is there. But there is only one article which is there before the first noun. In this case, we are not referring to two different people. Here, one person only is director as well as the principal. So we know that we are referring to only one person. He is only director, he is only principal. So compound subject, but referring to a singular person, the verb should be singular. Subject verb agreement is there. Correct. A large and comfortable chair is needed in my study. We'll follow the strategy. Is needed is the verb phrase, right? And it is in the singular form. So what is needed in my study? A chair. Chair is the singular subject. So that means a verb is also singular, subject verb agreement is there. A, large and comfortable, they are adjectives. See the next example. If I say a black and a white cat, so that means we have two cats, one white and one black. So obviously the plural form of the verb will be there. But when I say a black and white cat, that means there is only one cat which has both the colors, black as well as white. So that means we have one, so the singular verb will be used. Clear? Next slide. Now another thing is majority. The verb majority can be singular as well as the plural both. If it is used alone, it is singular. If it is followed by a plural noun, right? If it is followed by a plural noun in the form of a prepositional phrase, then it will be usually plural. See the example. The majority believe that the country can progress. So verb is the believe. It is in the plural form. So who believe? The majority. Majority is the subject. Now is there any plural noun? No, it is alone. So that means it is singular. So when this is a singular subject, the plural verb is wrong. So this is incorrect. The correct answer will be believes, right? The correct answer will be verb should be singular. So the correct sentence will be what? The majority believes that the country can progress. Let's have one more example. The majority of the lecturers believes that the student has not copied in the examination. So we'll find the verb. Believes is the verb, which is the singular form of the verb. We'll ask of the lecturers is the plural noun which is present in the form of the object of prepositional phrase. But who believes? The majority. Majority is the subject, but after this subject you have the plural noun. So that means it should be considered as plural, right? So in this case, majority over here is plural. So this is the plural subject over here. Why? Because it is followed by a plural noun. So this believes is incorrect. It should be believe, which is plural noun, plural verb. Clear? Next slide. Collective nouns is a word which is used for a whole group, right? It denotes or it reflects or it refers to the group of individuals, right? So the collective noun examples are family, group, committee, class, organization, team, army, club, crowd, government, jury, minority, public, mob, etc. Right? So collective nouns are always considered as singular. So we should know they are always considered singular when we are referring to a complete group. Clear? So see the example, the committee have met and accepted the proposal. So verb is have met, which is in the plural form. But what is the subject? Who have met? The committee. Committee is the subject and it is singular. We know collective nouns are present in the singular form only. So this is the singular subject. So if this is the singular subject, the verb has met is also the singular verb. So that's why it will be correct. So committee has met and accepted the proposal. Clear? See the examples. The family were happy at the news. Who were happy? Were is a plural verb. So who were happy? Family. Family is a collective noun. It is the singular subject, right? So were is wrong. Was is correct. So it should be the family was happy at the news. Next, the crowd was wild with the excitement. So was wild, was is the verb which is in the singular form. So who was wild with the excitement? The crowd. The crowd is a collective noun which means it is a singular subject. Singular subject, singular verb. The subject verb agreement is there. Our team is certain to win the match. Is a verb, right? So verb is the singular verb. So who is certain to win the match? Our team. Our team is the singular subject. So it's singular subject, singular verb, subject verb agreement is there. They both are correct. Clear? So point of this rule is collective nouns are always singular. So if the collective noun is treated as plural when, right?
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.